Okay, let's get started. Now, this is how to fill in a unit outline. Now, with the unit outline, where do you get the information from? The qualification, the course, you need to be able to find or ask your the teacher who's asking you to fill this in what the qualification is that the unit that you're doing. They may be able to direct you to the TAS. In the TAS library, that will be able to tell you what qualification that the unit is sitting in. It can only be one qualification on the unit outline. You can't put 4 in there. The student is only going to be enrolled in one qualification at a time. So you can only have one qualification sitting in the unit outline. So you type that in once you find out what that qualification is. Put the unit code in. Now the unit code should be written exactly as it's written on training.gov. So that's what the unit code will be there. If there is only one unit, then please delete the other rows. It's just confusing. It's just confusing for the students if the rows are left in. Then you can, once you know the course code, you can work out whether it's a core or elective. That's either by looking at the TAS, or you can type in the course code to training.gov and look through and see whether it's a core or an elective. The nominal hours, you can look at that, find that out from the TAS. So the TAS will actually tell you, in this case this one's in the Cert 4 in agriculture. So if I go into the TAS, the nominal hours, if I go down here to the unit list in the TAS and find it, you'll see that it tells me there what the nominal hours are for the unit, so you can put that in. The prerequisites, well, that's on training.gov. It'll tell you with the unit whether there's any prerequisite units. In this case it's nil, so you can just say none there. The commencement date, that leave them for the teacher to fill in. The description of the unit, once again you just get that from training.gov. It's sometimes called description, it's sometimes called application. You need to read it. Now this is important that you read it, because not all this information in the application or the description is relevant to students. Some of it is for teachers. So generally it's just the first couple of sentences or paragraphs that's relevant to students, and the rest is relevant to teachers. In this case, you could actually save most of it and put it in. So you could just copy and paste when you put it in. Now when you copy and paste and put it in, it doesn't copy and paste. You can't leave it like this. You've got to reformat it. This is not acceptable. It's grey, it's not dark. It wouldn't be readable for a student, especially if a student's got eyesight issues. So you have to come up. Now our standards are 11-point Arial and black for the type, so you have to go up and reformat it, make it black, and generally you can change the spacing to about 1.15 spacing is spaced enough to make it readable without it being too spaced. Now you have to put in the link as well here to the unit, so you just come up and copy the link and put it in. Once again, it needs reformatting again, so everything you cut and paste will need reformatting. It's important that you do that. The licensing is there as well on training.gov, so you can take that and put that licensing information in. Again, it needs reformatting, which is, the fun bit. Okay, so where do you find this general learning information? Well, this can be found, sometimes it can be found in the TAS. If they've already created a student document, you can get it from the student outline. If they've already created an assessor outline, you could get it from the assessor outline. So there's 3 different spots mostly that you could look for this information. If they haven't got those documents, you might have to leave it blank or leave it red until they have created those documents. The learning, The information from the learning can be either gleaned from TAS Part B and the different sessions that they're doing and the topics that they're doing in the sessions and those type of activities, or it could be from their lesson plans. Or you could actually just wait and get the teacher to fill that in as well. The assessment information, so this can be once again got from the student outline or the assessor outline, what information, what assessments there are, if those have been written. Conditions of assessment. Now, conditions of assessment, they can also be gathered from the student outline or the assessment outline. If they don't exist, there are assessment conditions that are sometimes sit within units. This one actually doesn't have any that would be relevant to go in here, but there sometimes are. And if there aren't any in the assessor outline, the student outline, or the unit, you could just delete that red bit. Okay, so then the last thing to fill in would be the submission details. So if you've got, your assessments up here, you know how many, then down here you'd write in for task 1, and then write in the submission details. So how it's to be submitted, and where is what you're putting in there. So how is task 1? How is it going to be submitted and where? So it could be, these are options here, it could be upload to SWTAFE Online. So that would be a how and a where. It could be that that it is handed in to your teacher in class. And that would be another example of how and where. And when that's done, don't leave it red, make it black. Okay, take the italics off it when you're finished. The other thing you'll need to do with the new templates is you go into the footer. This is saved. This is the file name here. So you just right click and update field and it will update. I haven't saved it as anything, this one. It'll update to whatever you've saved the file as, and you should have already saved the file by now. And that is how you fill out a unit outline.